Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Tuesday and it's 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I want to thank you guys for being able to come and be a part of my show. I've been off the air for a while. It's like I've given you guys updates and told you that I had some health issues. And during the process of having some health issues, I had a lot of time to think about what I wanted to do when I came back on the air. And I have an excellent opportunity to bring you a series of 3 or 4 shows on trading. And from the number one master teacher, Mr. Norman from the Prince Hunter Financial Group. And today we also have one of his number one students, and we got a lot of good information coming your way today. So I'm giving you an opportunity to go get paper and pencil so that you can find out how to get started and creating a financial future for yourself. So just in case you get sick along the way and don't make it to the government 70 retirement age and get their little pension that they're going to give you, you can secure a independent financial security that you have total control over, whether the government crashes tomorrow. Now, we know they're not gonna, but just in case, so you want to pay attention to every word that we are talking about on today. So let's get this puppy started. First thing I want to do is invite you guys over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, the first thing I want you to notice is that I have advertisers. They make it possible for me to be able to do what I do here on this show and all my shows. And the first one I want you to pay attention to is Sir Synergy. If you're interested in solar panel technology for your home or your business, you definitely want to reach out to Sir Synergy so they can come over, help explain things to you, to show you how you can save on your energy bills and be able to, move forward with saving some money in that area. Sir Synergy, definitely want to check them out. The next one I want to talk about is Pour It Again Sam. Now, Pour It Again Sam is bringing in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. And I tell you, everything that he brings in is an exclusive bottle of whatever it is that you like to drink, whether it be dry, sweet, semi-sweet, cognac. He's even got some white liquor like tequila or vodka or something of that nature. So you definitely want to click on the links that are in the middle of my website, and it'll take you directly to their website so that you can have an opportunity to check out what he has so you can find your new favorite spirit for the holiday season coming up. Now, the last one, I always say the best for last, the Prince Hunter Financial Group. And it's kind of special today because we have one of the representatives from the Prince Hunter Group present on the show today. But I want to kick things off by stirring things up. We here at the Ask Dr. Ron show have a special arrangement with the Prince Hunter Financial Group. If you mention that you saw this advertisement on my show, you'll get 4 free classes. Okay? 4 free classes. So now, what I'd like to do is welcome to the show Miss Aisha and Norman from the Prince Hunter Financial Group.
Hello, everybody.
Now, Norman, I know you got something to say about my 4 free class offer that I just put out there.
Yeah, every time we do this, I don't do I'm not giving away 4 free classes. I'm giving away 4 free sessions, which are an hour long each, where I will answer any questions you have, walk you through a trading platform, show you how what it looks like basically, and get you familiar with it just from a visual perspective, so you understand what trading is, what it consists of, and what it looks like.
So it's not like you're going to sit there with them for 4 separate days,
No,
12 hours a day.
no, because the classes cost money. So let's be clear with that. That's not free.
Okay. All right. Now, and those that follow me, they know Norman's been on the show before. And we go through this back and forth all the time. And I just love needling him a little bit by saying it. So I like to have the opportunity for him in person to be able to explain, what it consists of.
Right.
And to that point, Miss Aisha, I remember talking to her some years ago now and telling her to get in touch with Norman to get her 4 free sessions, classes, hours, whatever he defined it. And she had a special response to that. Miss Aisha, why don't you tell the people what you first thought about that offer?
I asked you, I said, okay, where can I find him? Is he on social media? Like, I need to look him up. I need to vet him.
No, that ain't what I'm talking
Say
about.
what you really said.
Right. She said, "Oh,
Yeah,
it's
well,
free.
when
It
I
can't be
asked
no
you,
good." Right. Yeah. That's what you really
you
said. It's
said
free.
he's not
It
on
can't.
social media. And then you
No.
said, yeah, the free. I was like, that sounds like he just trying to sell something. I was just
No.
like,
No. Originally, you said to me
go
that
ahead.
because you thought that the sessions were free, that they wasn't about nothing, and you wasn't interested at that time because you had already predetermined that the sessions wasn't going to be worth your time. Now that's
No,
what you
no.
said back then.
I said no because you said he had no social media. It was like, okay, who is this guy? But come to find out, I found out exactly who he was by watching, I think it was the January 2023 interview that Norman did with you. Um, if you're a trader, you always have these questions. Well, at least I had a lot of questions that kept me up at night. I've been trading since December of 2020, and no one could really tickle my ears to get close to the answer that I needed to hear. And Norman, he scratched the surface during that interview. I just went crazy. I just went crazy. I was like, I got to talk to this guy. I have to get 5 minutes with this guy. Like, I was
Hmm.
about to be his number one stalker. Like, seriously. Like, it was on.
Yeah.
So,
So the
yeah.
reason why I was addressing that is because even from the beginning, even though he didn't have any social media or any of the usual methods of communicating with the world, that a person could identify with, he turned out to be a big blessing to you.
He is a blessing to me. And he does have a website that would have helped. That would have helped Dr. Ron. But yes, definitely, like I said, I had questions. I've had positive journey during my trading journey, and then I've had a negative journey. And right around the time when you were talking to me about Norman, we were going through a bear market, and I just had a lot of unanswered questions. And I mean, I went to a trading school, an online trading school, and paid them like $6,000, and I still didn't get these certain questions answered.
Hmm.
And until I met Norman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say you came from a trading background, with questions that you couldn't get answered in the online trading school, but were still seeking more and more knowledge to further your trading experiences.
Right, because I was self-taught. I was trading December 2020 and 21. We had a bull market. I was self-taught. I traded options solely, stock options. Did I have some shares? Yes. I wasn't really happy with my results on trading shares, stock shares. So my results on stock options was phenomenal. But there was still things I needed to know to really take it to the next level. Like when I tell people my story, I did good. But if I look back at it now, I can critique myself and say, could be better, you know? So,
Okay.
yeah.
I gotta ask this question for those of us who don't know what a bear market is, what a bear bull market is. Could you elaborate on that a little bit, please?
I'm going to let Trader Coach Norman do that.
Well, you brought it up, so you have to. You just can't say stuff like
Well,
that.
I can. I'm going to tell you why I can. I can break it down in layman's terms, and then
Okay,
he
layman's
can
terms.
correct me. I
Go ahead.
mean, bull
Go ahead.
market to me, you could just throw something against the wall and it was going to stick. Everybody was making money in 21. So that really, to me, I took $200 and turned it into $70,000. A lot of people are like, but I lost half of it because as we started going into the bear market, I didn't know to get out of my positions. So a bull market is when, to me, the market is running, it's to the upside. It's going, and it was going in 21. It was nice. It was lovely. But was I gambling or was I trading? I don't know. But I did well. But I hate that I lost half of my money too. So joined the trading school. I learned some stuff from them, but it wasn't like his program. So bear market, just the opposite. It was to the downside, and I lost some money during that period, but I didn't trade as much either. In 21, I traded darn near every day. I was definitely a day trader. In 22, I was more studying and trying to perfect my craft, perfect my strategy. So,
Okay.
Coach Norman, how did I do on that explanation? I don't know.
You did good. You did good.
Okay, okay.
No
Okay.
trade secrets was divulged.
Yeah. Let me do this right quick. We got a Shay Williams on the line. Shay said, "Hey Norman, glad I could
Say,
join." She also said, "Norman's talent has no dollar sign equivalency. He is unmatched."
good stuff.
Thank you, Shay, for that comment. And
Thank
stick
you, Shay.
around. We got some more comments coming your way, Shay, that you're going to agree or disagree with. So, Miss Aisha, I understand from your background. We got Jacqueline Sanders and Connie Griffin joining us. Hey, from Connie, and hey, Norm from
Hey, hey.
Jacqueline. Wonderful, wonderfully made. I agree. So
Thank
your people chiming in,
Thank
okay?
you. Thank you.
So coming from a trader background and then having experience, and I'm about to offend the whole race of people, European training school, you know, yeah, and then coming into Norman's training school. How would you describe the difference between one and the other? You ain't got to name no names. We already know who Norman is. You ain't got to say who
I'm
it was
not giving
Merrill.
free
You know,
publicity.
yeah, you ain't gonna have to say Merrill Lynch or nothing like that. You ain't got to
It
say
wasn't
none of that
Merrill
kind of
Lynch.
stuff. No, I'm just saying. You
Norman,
know.
his program, I love it because in that program, I was just one of many. There was days I was in the class with 300. We scrambling to get our question in front of the instructor. Hopefully he'll answer it. Hopefully you didn't misspell something or put it up there wrong, and then he just kind of gloss over it, or if he answers it, he just kind of gives this basic answer. Norman customizes your experience to you. I'm an individual. What I need may be different from what some of his other students need. And that's what I like. It's 101 and it's very personable. And I love that. It was very impersonable at the trading school.
Okay. So you're one of many. Wonderfully Made said, "Hey Norman and Aisha, it's Tammy."
Hey,
Okay,
Tam.
Tammy. So now
Hi,
we know who you are.
Tammy.
No aliases. Everybody out the closet. That's what's up. You know, T Breezy's, I love that. Also, he is great teacher. You know, my monitor's a little
Thank you.
off to the
Yes.
side here. Okay, now I can see everything. Okay. So, having dealt with Norman myself, he's a bit much to deal with, And when I met Norman, I had a similar story myself. I set up and did some stupid stuff and jumped out there in a market that I didn't know nothing about. I was just saying, people say, yeah, put your money here, and then I did it. And then I sit up there and watch them things go, and I'm like, oh, Lord. I walked away from the computer, came back with nothing in my account. So I'm like, when I met Norman, I was shell shot. Okay. Now, Norman will tell you, I was like, man, I'm not taking that. I'm not doing that. I'm not. And that was just a practice account. Okay. Because he instructs us how to learn on a practice account. So I was like, I ain't even trying to lose on a practice account. All right. Because I was still stinging and hurting and shell shot from all of my previous experiences before I had met Norman. And it was so crazy. A mutual friend of ours was over my house, doctoring up my computer. And he said, well, what you doing? I said, man, I'm sitting here trying to do a trade. And he said, man, you ain't trading. You only betting $1, $2. You need to talk to Norman. So, and of course, and it's funny because Norman has been the same way since I met him. Just Norman.
Right. Right.
Just Norman. This ain't nothing, no fashion statement. I'm really waiting on him to come around one day and say, put an X on the back of my name, Norman X. I'm like, oh, now I get it, But he was like, I don't know you. I don't know if he thought I was a securities agent or what, but he wasn't trying to, really, bait me into nothing. And we have, over time, I can't even tell you how many years, it seemed like we've been part of each other's family a long time now, and I'm at the point where the purpose of these next 2 or 3 shows, I'm going to say it again, is, I have experienced real bad health issues. I've been going to surgery 5, 6 times just since January. And, the point is that you got to have financial health just like you need physical health. And then there's spiritual health. You got to have all these things working together for you. And I want to give people an opportunity to be able to get involved and learn some things that can help them develop financial health. I got some more comments coming in here. T Breezy said, I love that also. He is a great teacher. Shazam Salami also experienced Norman is definitely a professional. I can't see what that word says. My heart is in the way. But anyway, people understand that over time, it's not all about just winning. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some.
Correct.
Like Aisha said, she hit a home run with $70,000.
Real
and then
money.
sit.
That wasn't no
Yeah.
paper account. That was
Yeah.
real.
I jumped
Yeah.
out there. See, like I said, I was self-taught, and the platform I used to use, they didn't have paper trading, I don't think. But I jumped out there with live money. So I mean, I lost some money, but I made some money. And that's the thing. It's like, what I like about Norman, he gave me structure. He forced me to tune up my strategy and to start being consistent with paper trading first. Then let's go to live money. Why lose money when you don't have to? And that's something that him and I butted heads about, because he doesn't want you to lose your money. And I didn't understand that at first. And he we did not see eye to eye at first. We barely see eye to eye right now.
We've had many arguments, and that's to say, like, I'm up against a person's personality. I'm up against a person's history. I'm up against a person's mindset of how they live their life up to this point. You guys hear me say this all the time. What you've done your whole life to get where you are right now, whatever level of success that is, it is not going to work in this business. This is not football or basketball where you can muscle your way to the paint or to 10 yards. It doesn't work. So the mindset has to change. And I try to structure people so they understand. Yes, I'm harsh. I'm even brash. But at the same time, I'm trying to get you to think differently. And that is what I struggle with the most, besides people not learning the platform to learn how to trade on this thing. This is a glorified video game. That's all this is. Your trading account is a glorified bank account. That's all this is. It ain't nothing special. It ain't nothing sweet. It just is what it is. But there's, like she said, a structure that I have to put you in. I get pushed back all the time from a lot of different people. No, I ain't gonna trade. No, I ain't getting up that early. No, I ain't gonna do this. No, I'm too busy. I don't care about none of that. If you want your life to change, this is the stuff you have to do. You have to do different. It's hard to make people change.
If they want it,
If they want it, they'll change.
Right.
Look. And he right about the get up early part. Be calling you at 3 o'clock in the morning talking about you ain't looking at no stuff right now. I'm like, why are you calling me? I just went to bed, 10 minutes ago, and you calling me talking about you ain't looking at no stuff right now. Why you ain't looking at stuff?
And that's only because people only know the market to open from ding, 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 ding on the news where they say the market opened at so-and-so today. And they think the market opened at 8:30, but guess what? The market really been trading since 3 o'clock in the morning Central Time. So look how many hours you're behind versus what you could do to get ahead of the curve, ahead of the game, to take a trade that will move from, I'll give you a perfect example, 15 cents, $2.20, whatever, up to $10, $5, $4. Those are opportunities that you're not going to see if you wait to get in front of the screen to the bell ring. You got to come in early.
Yeah.
Right.
Now something was mentioned earlier about who you were before you came to this game.
Me?
Your personality. I'm just talking about as a student or as a trader, period. When you approach this game, like he said, none of that's going to do you any good.
None of it.
So you find out that you're a totally different person. Just using myself as an example. I stayed up all night after he turned me into a junkie. And I was losing money so fast it made me mad. I wish I could have broke my equipment, but that didn't happen, thank God. But you get obsessed with trying to perfect just a little bit of knowledge, because he don't give you too much, not in the beginning.
So he gives what he sees. If he sees that you are really going out researching the right material, you're actually listening to what he's saying and following up on those terms and getting more familiar with what he's showing you, then he'll give you more. And that's what I mean by he meets the person where they're at. And I was over trading at one point last year when I first met Norman, and he told me, you're over trading. I would be up, how many days that I've been up in profit and kept trading because I want more. And then lost it all and ended the day negative. But more is not a number.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying. That was just what I was about to say.
All
People
right,
trade for
look,
more. More ain't a strategy.
look,
More ain't a strategy. More ain't a number. You have to have a plan. You can't
Right.
come
yeah,
to this and say, I'm gonna do this without a plan. You can't wake up in the morning without a freaking plan.
Right.
hmm
I was so undisciplined that basically Norman was tired of me. That he was like, look, we didn't say it like this, but he came back and kind of told me this is how it went. He was like, she's so unruly. I'm going to keep like working with you, but I'm going to see how you kind of go with this. He introduced me to an opportunity where I could earn money while I'm learning. Because
hmm
maybe if I have some incentive, I'll
Real
behave.
structure. Real
hmm
structure.
Well, look, before we go off into that, I need to get some of these amen sessions that's on the comments here. Okay. Connie said, I'm on the Pacific Coast, so you know he had me up early.
Yep.
Shay said, yes, you do. Aaron said, what's up, Norm?
What's up, Aaron?
Good to see you, brother.
Thank you.
Shay said, it's addictive. Absolutely.
Yeah.
T said, love the way you explain that Asia's cause. That's right. Okay. I don't know which comment that was. But Shay said, more is not a number. Okay. So that's definitely something. So I want to talk about, criteria right now to come to you, Norman. Now, last year we did a show and we talked about all the poorest people on 47th Street that I was going to bring down there to be students for you. And you told me you was not taking no more 47th Street students. Okay, 47th Street, for those that don't live in Chicago, is the hood. Okay, down in the hood, for real
We call that the
hood.
low end. That's the low
There
end.
you go. So, and those are the people that need it the
It
most,
really is.
you know. But he was ranting and raving so hard, and I said, okay, I understand. So we put a number out there, hypothetical number. I think it was 25, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like
You
that.
said 25 new students, but they had to be qualified to a level of mentality of at least entrepreneurial.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, so they gotta know how to be entrepreneurial, meaning that they know how to create a business, run a business, be in business, and understand business vernacular. Okay, you gotta
And
have that type of
sometimes just have
mentality,
drive. Sometimes
right?
just have some drive.
Yeah, have a dream and a vision, and just want to go after what you go after. So we put that out there. So I need a report card. Since we did that at the beginning of the year, how close did you get to your 25? You ain't got none yet?
I mean,
Man,
there,
I'm going back on 47th Street and get you 20
no,
tomorrow.
don't do that. There's plenty of people who have expressed interest, and some are on this call right now, but haven't moved forward for whatever reason. I don't believe in counting other people's money, but so that's not my problem. The issue is, all I'm here to do is put this in front of you, show you what's possible, bring an opportunity to you, and it's up to you to decide if this is what you really want to do. And if it is, like she said, I can curtail it to fit your life.
Correct.
I just talked to literally yesterday to an 83-year-old woman who said, I don't need wealth, Norman. I'm okay with that. I need you to show me how to make income. Okay. 83. What did she do? The very next day, which is today, called Charles Schwab and said, oh man, I already had an account. I ain't used it in so long, it was dormant. And then she said they told her it'll be reactivated in 3 days. That's the fastest, the oldest person has ever done anything I told them to do.
Wow.
And that's
Everybody
being
else
proactive.
It being proactive, and everybody else is hemming and hawing, and I'm gonna come and I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna do this and I'm so busy. It is what it is. I don't know what nobody's life is about. But I do know somebody once told me this: you make time for the things you really want in life.
That's right.
So whether it's a
Mm-hmm.
vacation, a pool table, a new car, whatever, you gonna try to get that as fast and as hard as it takes to get it. That's what happens in the world.
Yeah, we got an endorsement from Shay. Shay said, if you have considered taking Norman's classes, please move forward on making contact with him.
Thank you,
That's
Shay.
an endorsement. Was that your daughter?
No, that's uh,
I'm just messing with you. You ain't even got to
that's
respond to that. You ain't,
that's one of
you
my
ain't.
students. That's one of my students from some years ago.
Okay.
You know, her and her husband. You know, I'm moving with them forward, trying to get them in progress. So, yeah,
Yeah. Well, every time people say nice things, I figure they got to be a relative. I say they really don't know Norman like we
no,
know Norman, because he got a different relationship with his family than he do with the rest of us. If you dare to cross that threshold and be a student, you can kiss your ass goodbye.
it's a
See,
tough
I like
world.
it. He's rough, but it's it's a method to his madness
Yeah.
because I have to look back at last year and really see my behavior, and I'm like, oh man, it was me, and all the time I thought it was him. I was like, ooh, me. I mean, how many times have I cussed at Norman? How
Yep.
many times have I just?
We done f-bombed each other a few times. Like, but once you get past, I can see she really wanted it. That was why I gave her so much help, because she really wanted it. I saw the drive that she had, even to do what she did with that other company and gave them money and still turn around and pay me.
Yep.
That said a mouthful to me.
I'm gonna tell you like this. When I saw that January interview, I didn't even know how much I just knew I was coming. I just knew I was coming. I called you on a Sunday night and we started that next day, Monday.
Yeah.
And I was just elated. I was like, oh my God, he put me on the next day. Ooh, okay. Okay. Like I just used up all my hours. Like it was because
Yeah, you used all your hours in one day. I think we did like 6 hours that day. You used them up in one day.
when you know though. I had been researching on my own. I had been but it wasn't structured. I was all over the place. So there was stuff that I knew a term, but I didn't know like how to apply it. Getting with Norman, if you already been trading, you self-taught. Okay, self-taught to me, you still kind of you out there gambling. I bought signals from people. I'm not gonna lie. I paid this one guy, a trader I used to know. I paid him $600 to follow his signals for a month. And to tell you the truth, it was wasted, but it's a lesson learned. I don't look at it like, I wasted my money. No, because I had to go through that experience. And it's like getting with Norman, one thing, this knowledge that I've gained, no one can take this away from me. I don't have to ever buy signals again. I won't ever buy signals again. And I don't follow YouTubers. That's not what traders do. You get out here and Norman has so many strategies, so many. And he can tell by how you talk, how you trade, what kind of trader you are. He told me what kind of trader I was back in March of last year. It just kind of went over my head. We went through a few strategies, and to this day right now, I'm using that strategy that he told me. I went right back to that strategy because simple is the best. And it's a simple strategy. To tell you the truth, it's
very simplistic.
Go ahead.
The business is not supposed to be sexy. The internet and YouTube makes this sexy.
Right.
I got Lamborghini money, all that nonsense. And if you know who I'm talking about, then you know who I'm talking about. But the point is, this business is not supposed to be sexy. It's the most gratifying thing in the world you can do, but it's 95% of the people in the world who try this business fail. at least once.
Mm-hmm.
And some come back and do it again and fail. And some come back and fail and try again and again and again. A lot of people don't understand what it takes to be a good trader. And what I tell
Absolutely.
people is this: you're not going to be a good trader by watching what other people do, by following what other people do. You have to make your own baby, build your own mousetrap, live and die
Yep.
by your own sword.
Yep.
And a lot of
Now,
people
now,
don't understand that
now
because
you
they
made a
wait for white daddy to get them a job. I ain't ashamed. I said they wait for white
yeah,
daddy to get them a job, and they okay with that. They
yeah,
okay for that structure because somebody got to tell them to get up and be at work at a certain time and leave the house and get in the car and drive, and then you could go home at a certain time. Oh, by the way, you can eat at a certain time. This business is so much freedom; it's almost too much freedom to the mind that is used to being in a cubicle all day.
yeah.
Correct.
Now, I don't want you to get too far away from something you were just saying. You defined a few seconds ago that people they have said that people that get into this business are broke with like 6 months to a year. What
Yeah,
was it?
pretty much.
What was
They
the
don't last.
statistic on that? It was a statistic that said if you get into this business, 6 months, I think they said 6 months to a year. They don't last a year.
They gone.
Yeah, they
On to the
gone.
next
So they,
thing.
yeah. So everything that you
And,
thought you knew could wind
right.
up ruining you, and
Yeah.
that's why folks back during the crash was jumping off of high rises and
Yeah.
buildings and stuff, because
And they didn't
of
have as much technology as we have.
Right.
right.
You know,
It took
Yeah.
me less than, it took me about, let's see here. I lost half of that. I lost $35,000 about 8 to 9 months in. Yeah.
Mm.
Because see, I withdrew. I was going through a divorce at the time. So I withdrew, how much did I withdraw? So if I lost 35, I had 35 in there. I withdrew about 29,000 of my money and used it, to get myself back straight after my divorce. And then I sat there and just watched the rest of it just dwindle down. And when it got down to that last 6,000, I I withdrew that, and that's when I went to the school. And I mean, I didn't want to do that. Definitely, I was sitting there like, wait a minute, I'm about to take the last of what I earned in the market, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to actually go get some training. So like, yeah, and I'm still not. I don't feel any kind of way. If I will say this, in 2022, I was kind of like a little bit of a zombie about it. Like I was still in my feelings. I was hurt. But now I'm looking back like because I actually did what I was supposed to do. I'm actually better now this year. So it's like, whoa, you're gonna go through that as a trader. Nothing is perfect. No trader, if a trader says they are 100% all the time, all their trades are perfect, they never lose, they are lying. You
it's the
have to
one.
know how to go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You have to know how to lose. And when I
Right.
say how to lose, you have to cap your losses. There was no reason that a trained trader should have sat there and watched $35,000 dwindle away. But I wasn't trained. I was self-taught, watching YouTubes. I was on Google, but it's still because I kept saying diamond hands and I'm hodling, whatever I was doing, and it was gonna come back up, and it didn't. It didn't come back up, and that's okay.
Because
So now,
that was
go
hope
ahead.
talking. That was hope talking right there.
Oh
I
yeah,
hope to
it was
come
it was
back.
a lot of hope.
Hope
Big
ain't
old
hope ain't a strategy either. You know what I'm saying? Like
So
you,
that's true. And but as a trader, you have to go through that, and I'm glad I went through that. So now I've gotten over that hump. And when I got with Norman, I was still skittish too. I was still skittish even when I went to my live account. I was still kind of skittish because it was like I had touched the hot stove. I know it burnt me. So now I'm like, you want me to touch the stove again? I don't know. So now I'm
see,
good.
Yeah, she
She
good. The thing
she
too,
got
Ron.
she got ice on it. And it don't hurt as much. Hold that thought, Norman. Let me get this in. Carl said, "Laugh out loud" to something I said. I guess. Shay said, "He's my best friend. I stopped trading and took a job to make extra money to trade, and boy, am I mad about that. But I'm coming back." I sound like a song right
You
there.
good, Shay?
You know, Shay said, "Norm has no problem telling you about yourself. That's for sure," with crying tears.
No filter. No filter.
Yeah,
Read you like a book.
yeah. So look, something you mentioned earlier, Aisha, and I want to give you an opportunity to address it. Norman has a program that he, when he feels like you're ready, you can earn while you learn. Now, you started talking about it earlier. So, how's that working for you?
So I started my journey with Norman February of 2023. He put me in the program June of 2023. It took me a full year, excruciating year, to basically be able to get to 150,000. It was excruciating. I'm not gonna lie. It was a year and 1 week. That's just because I had to go back and I'm like, I have been through something, but it's a good thing. I have reset my mind. I see finances different. The world is different. And what's interesting is what took me a year to do, I just did another one in 1 week and did 50,000.
50,000.
So that shows you right there that I'm definitely not the same trader that Norman started with last year. It took me a whole year. And I mean, I'm not on social media anymore. I still have my account. I don't post. Now this is my journey. This is not, everybody's not going to do this because everyone's the individual, but I mostly just remain to myself. It's me and my charts. Behind me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have about 6 monitors behind me, and I have 2 that I haven't even put up. And they're big. That's why I haven't put them up. So I have to get some time and do that. But I invest in this. This is a business, and I'm investing in myself. The ROI is great. My return on investment. So basically, I do take some of my trading money and I put it back into the equipment that I need. When I met Norman, I had a decent computer, but if you're going to trade, get a decent computer. I'm not going to, give any specific brand any publicity, but I always like 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte of RAM on my computer. I think that's decent. Don't download stuff on there. And I'm going to actually work myself up to getting a trading computer. So that'll be my next purchase. But right now I'm on a laptop with several monitors. And the laptop that I purchased has 1 terabyte on it. I have no issues. My internet, I pay roughly about $90 a month for my internet. I think it's 600 megabytes per second. I have no issues. You have to, if you're going to be serious about this, make sure your internet is decent and your computer is decent. And I mean, that's just it. There's no excuses. I can't be in the middle of a trade and have $1,000 on the line, and then all of a sudden it's not connecting. For me, that's unacceptable. Straight up.
What she's trying to also say, without saying, is I'm gonna explain it a little better. What I helped her get was access to $200,000. There are companies in the world who will give you money, aka an account number, to go in and trade whatever amount that they're willing to give you. All you have to do is prove that you're good at this business.
Took me a year to do it.
Right, but it took her a year, then it took her a week. So
Correct.
that's how the 200,000 came like that. So the structure that she needed, she didn't have. And then here I come and I break this down and I compartmentalize the business as opposed to this is this. People think, as I did when I first started, all of it is all the same thing, but it's really not. There's levels to this thing, and people don't understand that there's levels. So what they do is they continue to just try stuff without any form of progress, and they don't understand the science of the business. That's what I really teach, is the science, because I tell everybody my job isn't to teach you how to be a trader. My job is to get you to think like a trader, not an employee. But yes, somebody got dropped my French fries. I can't help them. Somebody got dropped the fries.
It's not gonna be me.
Well, Shay said, that's good. Congratulations to you. And she gave you a
Thank
whole
you.
bunch of hearts and, everything to show that she is happy for you. So, one thing I want to say is that most of the people that have had the experience of dealing with Norman is like a family, and we all have different personalities. And Norman has been extremely good at being able to find your personality, help you find your personality for what you're doing when you come to trading. Now, I created my own chaos, and my term for what I do is called petty thief. So I go out there and steal what I need to steal, and I get out the way. Next time you look up, I'm going out the window with your stuff, so I'm not sticking around. You ain't gonna catch me and then throw me in jail. Nope, I'm gone. I got mine and gone. Because sometimes you can stick around too long and those other things can happen to you that I've had happen to me. So, that identifies what I do and how I do it. It's not a career move. I ain't trying to be a career criminal. I'm trying to get in and get what I can get and get out. Hence, petty thief.
So what you're saying is, even from a structure perspective, and as Aisha said, I can help build a strategy for that mindset. If someone likes to buy and hold, I have something for them too. If someone wants to snatch $200 in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I have something for that too. So a lot of people don't know what's possible until they sit down and really talk to me, and then I show them how to do it. Everybody else is blowing smoke.
Right.
Everybody
And those
else,
are the people that I just don't understand. You just want to play. Like, I'm coming.
Listen, it's
very just an hour of your time. Like, seriously, that hour, that 4 hours, whatever, it'll change your life. But like you said, somebody got to drop the fries.
So, all that being said, what has to happen is you got to understand losing is part of the business. I say this every show I come on with you, and I explain to people, listen, you may make X amount of dollars a month, per day, per year, but guess what? All of that ain't yours. Why? Because you finna pay for gas, you finna pay some taxes, you finna pay for groceries, you finna pay for some kids' school clothes, if that's what you got around that time of year. That's called an expense to live. So trading has built-in expenses to it, just like living does. People got to understand that it's part of the business. There's a science to this that can help circumvent that, but you just got to be in front of the computer and spend some time with me.
True.
Absolutely. So we got another comment here. Connie said he's definitely family now.
Yeah. They're my Vegas people.
The Vegas people? Yeah. But Norman has traveled all across the country doing this. Just y'all think he's right here in Chicago only. He was conducting seminars, 2 years ago in the summertime?
Yeah.
Well, he was out there on the golf course during the day and holding classes at night or telling people about this, because some people, they have doubts, like Aisha spoke about in the beginning of this interview. that you're like, well, where his social media at? You know, yeah, he ain't got Facebook.
Yeah, I
You
want to know who
you
is this
know.
person
So,
saying they know the
but
market.
that doesn't mean that he's not real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why, I'm so glad and honored to be able to interview him as often as I do. And I want to reiterate for those that weren't on here earlier, we are going to be doing interviews with other students of his coming up over the next 2 and 3 weeks. Because I want you guys to understand that Aisha's not the only one doing good.
Right.
There are people that I have brought on in the beginning of their classes, hadn't took their first class, hadn't took their first trade, didn't know Norman's last name, because after you get to a certain point, you get to know his last name. Didn't know Norman's last name, okay, and they're coming back to talk about their experiences, to be able to share with you of their journey, because it's all different. Like Aisha, from what I understand, is one of the few that have got to the earn as you learn phase.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't there yet, because I asked that question, the other day, like, how many people you got, at this level? Only one.
I'm the only one of my cohort. But guess
Yeah.
what? I have
There's
I'm
somebody
proud to
sneaking.
say There's someone right on my
Yeah,
heels.
there's somebody
and I'm-
sneaking up right behind her, and she
I'm
on
rooting
fire
for
too.
her.
Yep, she
I'm
on
Okay.
fire
rooting for
too.
her.
Okay, we got a question for you, Aisha. Aaron asking the question, Aisha, in hindsight, if you would have been working with Norman from the beginning, would following his strategies have saved you the losses you incurred?
Most definitely. And I would definitely be, whoo, I would be wealthier today.
I was gonna say, you
had
better
I
speak it
started
in.
out with Norman.
Yeah, speak that into existence. Don't hold back on that. That didn't even require a breath to say that I'll be making way more money than what I
Yeah,
am.
definitely.
I
I
would
would
have
be
rolled that 70,000 and doubled it.
right.
Like that's definitely and doable and possible. Once you break the 125 number, the sky's the limit. It really
Right.
is.
And the 70,000 was me, even when I think about how I was trading with Norman strategies, that number is that's not even impressive because his strategies work. And I mean, he has so many, and that's what I like. I can come to him and be like, you know what? Okay, I want to trade this because there's so many products to trade on the market. And that's what I didn't know until I met Norman. I had heard about, oh, you could trade this. Someone told me, the same guy I paid the $600 to. He said, oh, well, you need $25,000. You got to have this amount in your account. I met Norman, and Norman showed, I'm like, wait a minute. Norman, he's underrated. Norman has a lot of knowledge, but he's not a braggart. So he's not just going to lay
Yes,
his
he
knowledge
is.
on you. No, he's not a braggart. So
Yes, he is. He
I
brag about what he know, and rightfully so. Okay,
when you're a
so
student, he will lay that knowledge on you, but he's just not just out there, hey, I know this, I know that. And what I liked about him was I brought it up, and he was like, really? And I was like, oh, I can't trade such and such. Oh, you can't? Really? And then he showed me, and I was like, oh, so I had to eat those words. That's what I mean. When I say he is just so underrated, Norman has changed my life, okay?
Thank you.
I'm unemployable. Norman is the truth. I sing his praises. I told him, I said, Norman, when you're ready. He told me, he said, I'm not going to let you come on to Dr. Ron until you finish what you started with this challenge, having access to the 150,000. And when I did it, I was just like, wow, I thought I would never be able to do it. And I really want to talk about my experience on that, but it's gruesome. I went through it. I really, really did. I went through it. I went through many ups and downs and sleepless nights. but it was me. I was fighting myself. And Norman kept telling me that. He was like, it's really you holding yourself back. And I think a lot of people don't realize the reason why they're not coming to him, like they'll call him and say, oh, I'm going to come, and they don't. We self-sabotage. I know that I was doing that. I was doing that in my trading. And now when I really reflected on it and recognized it and stopped it, that's when I started seeing success.
We got another comment here. Karen Bailey says, "I agree. Norman is great." I hated to give that one. I really did. Look, we got about 6 minutes, 5 minutes left in the show. And first thing I want to do, Norman, where can they find you at? Please tell them where they can find you.
PrinceHunter.com. You can reach me there. And pretty much everybody on this call right now has my phone number, so there is no shame in giving my phone number out. I have no problem. 708-552-3223.
Say that again.
708-552-3223. That's my personal phone number.
And they can get 4 free
sessions, not classes. 1 hour each. So I encourage everybody to get on the phone and just request to talk to me. 4 hours go by quick. 1 hour go by quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not gonna get off everything you want to ask me because I'm gonna be explaining it probably too deep for you to understand anyway. But yeah, I'm trying to point people in the right direction.
Absolutely. And I applaud you and I thank you for this opportunity to be able to bring exposure to what you do and how you do it. And I want to applaud Aisha for being a success story. Aisha probably don't remember. She, before she met Norman, she said, "Oh, yeah, Dr. Ron, I'm going to come on your show." And then stood me up. I'm like, what the hell?
I wasn't ready because I was going through, at that time, I had, let's see, so 2022, my business, I had just started my business 2 years prior. I was still trying to get that off the ground. My trading was just not where it was supposed to be. My divorce was finalized. I was in a very dark place. And you're like, come on my show. And I'm like, come on here and talk about what? I had lost that money. So I was really in a dark place. I was really bad off.
Well, mentally. Congratulations. Everybody's applauding you on the comments.
Because I'm in a light place now.
Well, that's good. Look. So that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Any closing comments you would like to make, Aisha?
Sign up for the program. Matter of fact, take the free hours. Just do that. It doesn't hurt you. And he doesn't sell you on anything. I remember when we finished, he wasn't like, okay, so are you going to sign up? And I was waiting for it. And it never came. And I was like,
because I don't care.
Look, you just suspicious. That's all that is.
Look, the brutal honesty of it is, I don't care if people take the class or not. This business sells itself, number one. Number two, if you want it, you move toward it. I didn't say, do you want to when you want to be me, you got how you want to pay, cash or check. You want to sell me? I ain't do none of that because there's no need for me to do that.
Coach Norman, you are the best.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I want you all to tune in next week. We're going to be having other students. So like I said, the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to be bringing in other testimonies about what Norman has been to them. He ain't going to be on the line so we can drop kick him like we want to. He'll be tuned in, but we're going to drop kick him. Norman, what you want to leave with the people today?
I would have to say just put forth some real energy and effort and thought about if this is something you really want to do. This is a scary business. 95, I don't know if people understand what I said. 95% of the people fail at this business. I've been doing this for 30 years. I started in 1995. That's still, a year shot short, but I've been in this for almost 30 years. and it hasn't been easy. I was like, and you know my story. I say this every time I'm on a show. I had an office on 164th and Halsted. I had an office in Matson, Illinois, over there off the Lincoln Highway. I was that person that slept on my desk, looking at the computer like this, trying not to miss no trade. You know, I'm sleeping on the floor next to my computer, trying not to miss no trade. You know, my daughter at the time was probably, you know, when she was born in 2000, so that puts her at, you know, 5, 6 years old by the time I really understood what I needed to do. And that's what I'm trying to get people to do, is think about what you really needed to do, what you need to do. I had to stop trading for a year and just write down everything that was in my head. We're 4 books later and I'm still not done. 4 books. I'm writing all at the same time. Those books are manuals for each class that people pay for. And I did that as inspiration to leave something to my daughter. That's it. And this is what it turned into. Because people would ask me, what you do? What you do? On the golf course, what you do? I'm a futures trader. What's that? It's like a stockbroker. Okay. You got a card? Sure. Here you go. And that's what turned into. So people got to just move forward in the process. There's a lot of scary people sitting on the sideline watching, wanting to be a part of this, and they just don't understand what it takes. And yes, it ain't going to come easy. It ain't going to come quick. It's not going to come fast. You're going to lose, but you have to understand the best loser wins. That's a book. That's how this business works. The best loser wins, not the best winner. It ain't a 3-point shot with 2 seconds to go. No. There's a different mindset that has to be brought into this.
Absolutely.
That's all I got to say.
And I applaud you, man, for caring about us to make sure that we get the benefit of your years of experience, 35 years. You ain't but 22. I don't know how the hell he got to 35. I got kids 20, you know.
24, 25.
Yeah, it's my brother. I love him. You know, I tease him a lot. But then, trust me, he will get me back. You know, I always have and always will. So please, spread this word. You know, grab this link. Send it off to somebody. You know, let them know, you know, there's opportunities out here that can change their financial health.
And I just want to say one more thing, Ron.
Yes, sir.
That whole thing, what you just said, that will change a person's financial health. What Aisha explained earlier about me saying she now has access to $200,000. The same person that making my fries can have access to $200,000. And the point of I'm making is, even people who want to be in this business, who think they got to have 10, 20, 50, $100,000, whatever, in the bank account to be in this, no, that's what that program is for. I don't give that information out to nobody unless I see that they really serious.
Right.
They got
took
to
me I paid out, I put into it like $2,000 to get the access to the 150,000, and then that took a year for me to do the week. I only invested $50.
Yep.
And
$50.
then I had access to the 50,000. So it's a no-brainer for me. I mean, some people may be like 2,000, yeah, but think about it, 2,000, and now I'm withdrawing from $150,000 account. It's a no-brainer for me.
No-brainer.
Fantastic. So I want to thank all the people that took time to tune in and make comments during the show. I tried to get everybody's comments in there. Limitless Lee said, great show, very valuable information. Spread it. Tell somebody. And then come back next week when we got some more folks that'll be talking about the same thing from a different perspective. Okay? All right, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to throw a couple of commercials up here. From the desk of Dr. Ron, I'll be getting back to doing my show each and every Saturday at 12 noon. So please tune in. Also, I'm going to get back to doing my Black History Moment each and every Sunday. So please tune in. You don't want to miss any of my episodes or any shows that I'm doing. Also, I want to ask you all to make contributions and donations. You know, these are all the ways that you can support what I do. While you're here, please subscribe And don't forget to like and share. Please, this is how we do it. You know, we bring out information. We celebrate heroes and sheroes in our community like Norman, like Aisha, and I want to keep doing it, so I need your support. So I want to thank you guys. You all stay blessed, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next show. Take care.